Long before the first sword was raised at Embabo, Ethiopia was already moving toward war. In the late 19th century, Ethiopia was not one silent empire. It was alive with ambition. Kings ruled kingdoms. Generals commanded their own loyalties. Tribute moved across long roads, guarded by armed escorts, watched closely by rivals. At the center of this shifting power stood Emperor Johannes IV, ruling from the north, strong, respected, but constantly balancing competing forces beneath him. South of the imperial court lay Shewa. And ruling Shewa was a man who understood patience better than violence. Menelik. He had been a captive once. A prince locked away, learning the cost of power without ever holding it. That experience shaped him. Menelik did not rush into war. He expanded quietly. Villages joined him without burning. Chiefs swore loyalty without bloodshed. Oromo leaders were not crushed, they were integrated. Slowly, deliberately, Shewa grew stronger. Menelik armed his soldiers carefully. Rifles appeared in his camps. Training became disciplined. Commanders were chosen for loyalty and intelligence, not lineage alone. Among them was Raskobana Dake, a cavalry leader whose riders moved faster than most armies could react. While Menelik prepared, another king watched closely. Tekel Haymanot of Gojam. He was no weak ruler. Gojam was proud, experienced in war, and deeply aware of its own status. For years, Gojam and Shewa eyed the same prize. The southwestern lands, Walaga, the Jibe states, the fertile corridors that fed armies and financed kings. Whoever controlled those lands would shape Ethiopia's future. The tension did not break with a declaration. It broke with tribute. One season, wealth from Walaga was gathered: ivory, grain, goods destined for Gojam. Tribute meant recognition. Tribute meant legitimacy. But the convoy never arrived. Menelik's forces intercepted it. Under Raskobana's command, the tribute was seized and redirected. The message was unmistakable. Tekel Haymanot was furious. To him, this was not theft, it was defiance. Messages were exchanged, words sharpened. Armies began to move. Neither king waited for imperial approval. They both knew this fight would decide too much. By early June of 1882, the armies marched. They converged on a plain called Embabo, a place of rivers, forests, and narrow approaches, land that favored strategy over numbers. Menelik arrived first. His troops set camp with discipline. Scouts moved silently through trees. Cavalry studied the terrain. Commanders spoke in low tones. Menelik rode among his men, calm, observant, calculating. Across the plain, Gojam's army appeared. Drums thundered, horns called. Infantry advanced in dense formations. Tekel Haymanot rode at the center, confident, armored, unyielding. At dawn, mist hung low over the field. The land seemed to hold its breath. Then the first cannon fired. The sound ripped through the morning air. Smoke rolled across the grass. Cannonballs tore into the earth, throwing dirt skyward. Soldiers flinched, regrouped, advanced again. Rifles cracked. Men fell. The distance closed fast. Suddenly, the battlefield collapsed into chaos. Shields slammed together, spears thrust, swords flashed, horses charged through dust and screams. The fighting was brutal, close, relentless. For hours, neither side yielded. Tekel Haymanot pushed hard at the center, driving his men forward with sheer force. Menelik held back, watching, waiting. Then the signal came. From the edges of the battlefield, Roscoe's cavalry surged forward, not straight, wide, fast. They disappeared behind the dust and terrain, looping around the battlefield's edge. By the time Gojam realized what was happening, it was too late. The cavalry struck the flank with terrifying speed. Horses smashed into exposed ranks. Spears tore through formations. Panic spread like fire. Gojam's lines buckled. Command fractured. Tekel Haymanot was struck amid the chaos, wounded, surrounded, overwhelmed. By late afternoon, the battle was decided. The field belonged to Shewa. Nearly 2,000 men lay dead or dying. More than 4,000 were captured. 6 cannons stood silent, seized by Menelik's forces. Tekel Haymanot was taken prisoner. Menelik rode onto the battlefield. The wind carried the smell of blood and smoke. He did not shout. He did not celebrate wildly. He understood what this meant. This was not just a victory. This was transformation. Within days, word raced north to Emperor Johannes IV. His reaction was swift and furious. 2 kings had fought a war without imperial command. Peace was imposed. Prisoners released. Weapons returned. Territories reshuffled. Marriages arranged to bind loyalty. Menelik submitted publicly. Privately, the truth was clear. Shewa now dominated the southwest. Gojam was weakened. Menelik's commanders were battle-tested, his army proven. From this moment on, Ethiopia's future leaned toward Shewa. Years later, when foreign powers arrived with treaties and armies, Menelik would draw on everything Embabo had taught him. How to prepare, how to wait, how to strike. Embabo fell silent again. But Ethiopia had changed forever.